steam tanks are monstrous, smoke-belching engines of war. They rumble towards the enemies of the Empire, firing deadly cannonballs from their steam-powered guns. The advance of these iron behemoths is glorious to behold, enough to bring a tear to the eye of any true son of the Empire. Hello there! In this video we're going to show you how to paint an Empire steam tank in all its glory. We'll get it ready to crank its way across the battlefield, blasting all before it back into the chaos wastes from whence they came. Then we'll show you a few extra bits here and there to take it to the next level.
The paints we'll be using are on screen now. You can also find the paint list in the description below. We also have a list of the additional equipment we've used, but you can use whatever brushes you feel most comfortable with. If you're new to painting or want to brush up on your skills, you can check out the Citadel Color Painting Essentials playlist to learn all about our paints and techniques. As you can see, we've undercoated our steam tank with Chaos Black spray. This will work perfectly for the colors to follow. Let's get painting. Our first paint will be Abaddon Black. We're using this to go over all of the armoured areas that we want to be black. We can afford to be messy here, as all the rest of the details will be painted over again later. Going over the undercoat with Abaddon Black helps us in the future if we make any mistakes. This is because Chaos Black and Abaddon Black have a slightly different finish, so it helps to keep it uniform. Alright, with Abaddon Black applied, we have a nice base coat for everything going forwards. Let's move on to doing the rest of the base coats. Next, we're using Rhinox Hide to pick out all of the wooden details. There's quite a lot here, mainly the wheels, steam engine casing, decking and barrels. Try to be a bit neater when going over any areas that we want to still be black. You can check the box art to help you here. Rhinox Hide is a great brown paint that can be used to represent anything from wood, leather, darker skin tones, chipping and base details. A really awesome paint to have in your arsenal. Time for our first metallic. We're using Iron Warriors to pick out all of the silver details. Iron Warriors is my favourite silver at the moment and covers really nicely over a black undercoat. We're looking to pick out the trim around the armoured areas, the turret, engine parts, wheels and guns. Okay, that's all of the silver metallic details completed. Again, just check the box art for help if you get lost as to where these are. Our next metallic will be Runelord Brass, and we're picking out all of the fancy detailed areas, like the griffins on the side armour as well as the wheels, the details along the bottom and top of the side panels as well as the skulls on the front. Try to be neat here, as there are a lot of previously painted details. If you do make a mistake, you can just tidy them back up with the previous colours. Runelord Brass is a fantastic metallic paint. It's such an awesome colour and works so well with Abaddon Black as well. For our last metallic, we're using Retributor Armour to pick out the trim on the turret barrel and some areas here and there on the engine housing and shield motifs. Again, try to be as neat as you can and just tidy back up if you make a mistake. Right, with that all done, I would recommend changing your water pot, as you don't want any metallic flakes in the rest of your paints. Okay, we're now going to use Rakarth Flesh to pick out all of the scroll work on the front areas of the armour. Nice and quick, but just take your time so you don't make a mistake. There's also a couple of scrolls on the shields as well. Once that is done, we'll use Caledor Sky to pick out the right half of the shields along the side of the armour. Roughly draw a line down the centre of each shield and then paint in the right hand side. With that done, we'll use Corax White to pick out the left hand side of each shield. Same thing as before, just taking our time to be as neat as we can. Brilliant! With Corax White finished, all of our base coats are completed. We're now going to move on to the shading phase next. Okay, with all those base details done, we now need to shade our steam tank. For this, we'll be using Nuln Oil and shading all of the details with it. So, I would recommend going around in sections picking out all of the details one at a time rather than just slapping it all over the tank. This is because it will allow you to control the application and look out for any pooling. If you see any, you can dry off your brush and soak up the excess with the dry bristles to then reapply onto the next detail. Doing it like this will also help to reduce the risk of unwanted tide marks on your larger flat areas. Alright, that's all of the shading done. I would recommend leaving the model to dry for roughly 30 minutes before carrying on. With the shade all dry, we're going to move on to doing our first highlighting stage. For this, we'll be using Dark Reaper to pick out our black armor panels. When edge highlighting like this, try to use the side of your brush to give a nice consistent line, as well as speed up the process. If you make a mistake, you can just tidy back up with Abaddon Black. Next, we're using Thunderhawk Blue to paint within the lines of the previous highlight. I'll try to use the edge of my brush where I can, but if I find it difficult, I'll move to using the tip of the brush to make sure the line stays within the previous one. Okay, that's all of our black armor highlighted. I've deliberately kept it quite muted so that it doesn't overpower the rest of the details. However, you can use a paint like Fenrisian Grey instead of Thunderhawk Blue if you wanted to make the black highlight stand out a little bit more. With the black done, I'm now going to dry brush highlight all of the wood details with Skrag Brown. If you want to know more about dry brushing, you can check out the Painting Essentials video all about it. I'll use a small dry brush to gently and carefully go around all of the wooden areas to do this. And there we go, the dry brush highlight is done. Don't worry if it looks really stark at the moment. We'll be doing some weathering steps later on in the video that will help to mute it down nicely. With the wood done, I'm now going to use Hoeth Blue to edge highlight the blue part of the shields. Just like how I did the black armor, using the side of my brush to help keep the lines nice and consistent. I'm now going to highlight the white area of the shields with White Scar. Again, using the side of my brush for consistency and control. If I make a mistake, I'll just tidy back up with the previous colors. Alright, the last of the smaller details to highlight will be the scroll work. For this, I'll use Pallid Witch Flesh and just take my time moving around all of the edges of the scrolls. And with those 3 highlight steps done, our small details are complete and look great. We now need to move on to doing the metallics next. With all those details completed, it's time to highlight the metallic areas. Firstly, I'm going to use Canoptek Alloy to highlight all of the details that I painted with Runelord Brass. Metallics always look better when they have a fine and sharp highlight to them. This is because it helps to show off that the surface is hard and sharp and catches the light on these points. So, I'm going to take my time and really focus on keeping a small and thin highlight as I can. If I make a mistake, I'll cut back in with Runelord Brass. However, with that being said, when you go over some rounded areas, don't be afraid to just layer the highlight over that. Don't worry about a sharp highlight here. With that done, I'm now going to highlight all of the silver details with Stormhost Silver. I'm doing the exact same thing as before, making sure the lines are small and thin in order to show off the silver metallic as much as I can. Once that is done, I'll pick out the Retributor Armour areas with it as well. As a little extra, we can use Stormhost Silver to dot highlight any corners or highest points of the brass details as well. Alright, that's all of our metallic areas highlighted. Our tank looks awesome and will stand out well on the battlefield. You can leave it here and be really happy with what you have. I'm just going to do a few more extra weathering steps though, so keep watching if you want to check those out. So for our first extra weathering step, I'm going to dry brush Abaddon Black over the engine chimney to make it look well used, taking my time to slowly build up the effect. Once that is done, I'm now going to thin out Steel Legion Drab with loads of water so it's like a wash consistency, and then apply it into all of the recesses around the lower areas of the armour and wheels that I can find. When this dries, it will look like mud and will help to give our steam tank a battle-worn appearance. You can add as much or as little of this as you like. We're now going to use Athonian Camoshade to add some visual interest to the wooden areas. This will help to break up the dry brush highlight as well. The green shade will act like moss and mould growing over the wood. It's just a cool way of aging the wood and making it look a bit more used. You'll need to build this up over a few layers, so let the first one dry completely before coming back to do another. The more layers you add, the more the shade will show through. So just take your time and build it up gradually. And with those 3 paints added, we've really injected some character into our steam tank. With doing extra details like this, you can do as much or as little as you want. Just experiment and have fun with it. Finally, I'm going to thin out Nihilak Oxide with some water and wash it over some of the Runelord Brass areas of the tank. This will help our brass look weathered and well used as well. I'm just picking and choosing what areas to add this to, mainly focusing on the deeper recesses and larger flat areas. The griffins are a good spot for it, as well as the rivets, the chimney and the skulls on the front. With that done, all that's left to do is base your tank in whatever way matches the rest of your army. We've done it using Stirland mud and added some tufts for more detail. Once that was done, I painted the rim with Steel Legion Drab. If you want to know more about basing, you can go check out our Painting Essentials video all about it.
And with the base done and the rim painted, our glorious Empire steam tank is finished and ready to crush the ravaging barbaric hordes of the enemies of the Empire. We've had a lot of fun with this video, and we hope you have too. For more painting videos, head over to our YouTube channel. If you need more help, you can always head to one of our Warhammer stores where our friendly staff will be more than happy to help. Well, we've really enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!